Hey, how you doing, buddy? I saw you ducking out of the party pretty early. You didn't even say thanks to your favorite brother-in-law. How could you, man? Anyway, so what did you think about that? It's a hell of a time, isn't it? What did you think of those ribs? Did you see all those guests sucking on those things like it was their last meal? Man, I'm telling you, I'm a man of the people. Take a look at all those guests that we had today. I don't think they had a good meal in years. Just look at their reactions. It's kind of sad if I'm being honest. I mean, the food was pretty good, but it's nothing special, really. That's what my family eats every weekend. We like to live big. Anyway, man, what the hell was that about? Why don't you come back here? It was way too early to leave the festivities. We haven't even bought out the piñata yet. You gotta watch the kids almost hit their parents trying to whack that thing. Hey, Frank, look, that was an amazing time. Thank you so much for putting everything together. It sounds like your little daughter is having a hell of a time there. I'm pretty sure it's a birthday that she'll never forget. Well, aren't you a little sweetheart, Simon? You just know how to flatter a girl, don't you? Anyway, if you're having that much of a good time, I don't see why you're skedaddling out of here. There are so many people I wanted to introduce you to here. Did you happen to speak to my buddy Paul? Man, that guy is an absolute kick in the head. That guy could fill out a whole library of stories. He's got some pretty weird experiences, man. You're missing out on a really fun time. I know. What can I say? Duty calls. Come on, man, don't be throwing that crap around. What duty do you have? You're a freelance photographer. I mean, you came to this party and you hung around for about an hour or two. I saw you talking to a couple of people, but I wouldn't say you were actually getting out there and enjoying everything that you can. Don't think all that I can offer is good ribs. There's a lot more entertainment on its way. Look, you know what, Frank? Thank you. I honestly appreciate it. It's clear that you really care about me and you want to be a good brother-in-law. If you didn't, you wouldn't be messaging me this much right now, would you? Well, you are family at the end of the day. Exactly, and I'm really appreciative for all the attention. But you know how my work is, being a freelancer. You never know when work is just gonna come or when it's gonna disappear forever. Whatever little opportunity I've got to pounce on it. Just think about it. I'm marrying your sister soon, right? I've got to do whatever I can to support her. I want her to feel like we're not at risk at any point in time. You know what? You might have a point there. I do have to say, Simon, you can be a good old stick in the mud sometimes. I mean, this is a birthday party. If you're that eager to pull the trigger on your little camera, then how about you whip it out for the party and capture the amazing moments we have here? I'm sure that my little daughter would love to play model for a bit, especially after the cool presents I've got her. She is absolutely gonna love it. Speaking of which, you're gonna miss out on her reaction when I show her all of the presents. Do you really have to leave so early? I know, I'm leaving with a heavy heart. Don't think I take any pleasure in leaving that place. Anyway, I've got your little daughter a gift and I gave it to her personally. I told her to open it up when she's opening up everything else. I'm sure she's gonna absolutely love it. I know we're not gonna be there to support her, but at least she knows we're thinking about her. I've gotta say, Simon, you may be a good guy, but you're an absolute dullard. I mean, do you understand how kids work at all? I'm pretty sure she's tearing up right now on the inside. Oh, I don't know about that. She seemed pretty happy when we left. She got herself preoccupied with a bunch of other things. Yeah, of course she's gonna do that. No kid wants to talk about how they're really feeling. You know what? I kind of have a bone to pick with you now. Hey, come on, Frank. No need to get all negative. You're at a party after all. Yeah, well, to hell with that. Don't you tell me what to do. I think I need to get this one out there. I am not happy about you being a part of my family from this point on, Simon. Hey, Frank, just take it easy. Make sure you haven't drunk too much. Who gives a damn about how much I drink? That's got nothing to do with you. Are you my mom watching me this whole time? Just mind your own goddamn business. I am a grown man. I can drink as much as I damn well please. Simon, if you just focused on having a good time here and talking with everyone, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Something tells me that me leaving the party today isn't the only thing you're angry at me about. So what is it? What's been on your mind?
From the very moment I met you, I had no idea what my sister saw in you. I mean, some geeky guy walking around with glasses that takes photos all the time? There's nothing interesting about you at all. That's not the type of guy someone like my sister should be walking around with. She deserves something better. A guy that looks like he showers, for one.
Okay, that's an interesting comment. This has something to do with me being a photographer, then, I'm guessing?
Well, that's one of the things.
Well, what's so wrong with being a photographer? It's a very unique and difficult profession.
Yeah, right. Don't talk to me about difficult. You walk around and you press a button. You can try and complicate it in as many ways as you want, but at the end of the day, that is all you do.
Oh, come on now, Frank. You know, if that was all I had to do, then I wouldn't even have a job. People would be doing this type of thing themselves.
Admit it, it's not that hard to do, is it? Don't tell me you actually are proud of what you do.
If I'm being honest, Frank, I am. It's not just about taking the photo, it's about telling a story. Every photographer has his own style and a way that he wants to take a photo. One photo can tell 1,000 different stories, depending on how the person edits it. It's a really cool profession, and I'd like to introduce it to you at some point.
Wow. Simon, that sounds so fun. I couldn't think of anything else I'd rather do with my time than look at photos with you all day. You can show me those photos and I'll show you the crevice between my butt cheeks. I'm pretty sure both are gonna be equally breathtaking.
I don't even know what to say to that. I'm not just sure if you're trying to put me down or trying to compliment yourself.
Well, yeah, just shut up. I've got no interest in your stupid photos. Why don't you find an actual profession like a real man, huh? Why don't you do something that my sister can actually be proud of? Better yet, go to the gym and hide those scrawny bones of yours. You and I stand next to each other at the party, and you look like my teenage son.
Your sister is proud of what I do. It's the reason why she fell in love with me in the first place. She loves my work and supports me with it.
Yeah, right. I'm not gonna believe that until I get a written statement showing that she actually loves you. Some goof with a beard walking around with a camera isn't exactly attractive, is it?
The beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
That's exactly what some little dweeb like you would say. I mean, let's just talk about your income. Did you have a look at my little chateau today?
What did you just call it? Do you even know what that means?
Of course I know what it means. What, you don't think my house is worthy enough to be called something like that? Just admit it, you got lost trying to look for the toilet. I've had guests walking around looking for that thing for like 10 minutes.
It's quite a large place, yes, I'll admit that much.
Come on, you're totally doing me a disservice here. It's not just about the size, but look at what we've got in it. We've got sculptures that we've ordered from overseas. We've got paintings that are worth thousands and thousands of dollars. We've got a massive yard for the kids to play in and a pool for them to jump in after school. Heck, we even got a kitchen with our own cooks. You want some sirloin steaks with a snap of your fingers? Not to worry, we've got you covered. I mean, I'm telling you, in a place like my house, you don't even need to go outside. We've got everything that we would need within these walls. And you know what? I've given that all to my wife. She is an amazing person. And that's how far I was willing to work for her.
Well, despite the differences we have between us, Frank, I will say that's really admirable. Not many men will do that.
See, that's where you're wrong, Simon. Only men will do this. Men that aren't doing this can't be called men. You should have gotten into a real profession just like me. It could have been anything. Do real estate just like I did. Or maybe banking. Just what person in their right mind would choose photography? You might as well be working at McDonald's. I'm pretty sure they have a higher base earning per annum than you do.
Oh, enough of that. Frank, I think you've had enough of insulting what I do. You think I'm just gonna sit here and take it from you?
I do, to be honest. Because a little wimp like you can't do anything against me. Like, what are you gonna do, big man? You're gonna come back to my chateau and challenge the king? You really want to duke it out in front of my daughter?
Of course I don't.
I'll say whatever the hell I want to, and you're gonna listen.
You're flaunting your success, and I don't care for it. It doesn't make you any better than me. I'm not scared of some bully. I'm gonna have a word with your sister. I'm not gonna put up with it. You need to realize that we're family, and that I deserve some basic respect.
Oh no, not my sister. Whatever am I gonna do? If she ever hears about this, I'm gonna be hiding in my room for weeks. She's definitely gonna have it out for me. Maybe she'll go tell Mom like she used to when we were kids. Oh man, I'm gonna be in so much trouble. Please don't tell my sister. I'll do anything. Have my house, I'll give it to you. You can even have the car. Just don't tell my sister.
You know, your idiocracy continues to amaze me, Frank. I've heard what you've had to say. I get it. I'm not gonna force you to like photography, but you're at least gonna respect that I do it.
You can't actually expect that of me, can you? Let's face it, Simon. Down the track, this is gonna come back to bite me.
What do you mean it's gonna come back to bite you?
See, this is what I mean. If you actually trained your mind in a proper profession, you would learn how to see what's gonna happen in the future. A little bit of foresight, if you will. Well, how about I break it down to you, young man?
What do you mean, young man? I'm the same age as you.
Biologically, maybe, but mentally, I think you need to be taught a lesson. Didn't anyone ever teach you proper manners? Don't you know not to interrupt the teacher as he's talking?
You really have a high opinion of yourself, don't you? There is nothing about you that puts you above me, Frank.
Well, listen here, little Simon. What's gonna happen is you're gonna continue on your profession in photography. Now, let's face it, that's a pretty competitive field. I mean, how many people do you need to press a button on the camera? You only need one, right? It's gonna reach a point where you're not gonna have any jobs coming in at all. Consequently, your finances are gonna suffer because of it. Then my sister is gonna cry and moan and complain that she doesn't have any money. You guys don't have enough to live on. Oh, what is she gonna do then, huh? Do you think she's just gonna rub her hands together, open them up, and expect the money that she needs to be there? Of course she's not. She is gonna turn to family.
That is what family is there for, I guess. You have something against her relying on her own family?
Yeah, but just think about this logically. We're not gonna burden our parents. They've worked hard their whole lives. We owe them too much already. We can't exactly take money from them. So who is she gonna turn to then? The only person that she's related to. Your friendly neighborhood Frank.
Is that what you're starting to call yourself now, huh? There's really no limit to your vanity.
It's better to be vain than to be poor. Plus, you should know already, I'm known around these parts. I'm a guy that can talk to people, and everyone comes around for a party at Frank's chateau. So you and my sister are gonna get yourselves into a little pickle, and you're gonna come to my doorstep begging me. You'll do anything for a little bit of a handout. And I have to be honest, I am not gonna be happy on that day. She should have known to get with a guy that has a decent level of competency.
You're making a lot of assumptions here, Frank, and you're making a fatally incorrect one. You've got no idea if my photography is gonna lift off or sink. You don't even know the intricate details of the type of work I do. You don't know the market and you don't know the demand. We're gonna be fine financially no matter what prejudices you have. And if I'm being really honest right now, with the impression that you're giving me, I don't think I want to go to your doorstep and ask you for money. I would be really disgusted with myself if I was in the palm of your hand, putting up with that smug attitude of yours. I don't know what I would do, but I would find another way to avoid it. But let's face it, the situation is never going to happen.
You really are a little weasel, you know that? I can't believe I actually invited you to this party. I swear there are just some times in my life that I'm way too nice.
I really don't know what to do about you, Frank. I really don't know where these weird prejudices of yours have come from, but I think it's really sad. Think about it. We're family at the end of the day. This isn't something that we should really fight about. We should have some sort of mutual respect for each other. Up until today, I thought we had that.
Well, I guess at some point we had to show each other our true colors, didn't we? I care about my sister, and I want her to be with a capable partner, someone like her little brother. I'll tell you what, if you really want my respect, how about you do me a favor? Do a little bit of work and show me that you're a real man, and then I will start to respect you.
Are you kidding me right now? Is this something that I have to earn? I'm your family now, Frank. Why can't you just respect me?
What do you mean that you're my family? You and my sister aren't married yet. You never know what's gonna happen up until that day. Hey, she might even leave you for all we know. Don't get your hopes up. You never know what will happen when a strong, burly banker catches her in his sights.
Whatever, Frank. Talking to you right now is ridiculous.
Well, you know what? Just hear me out. You might like my little proposition. Did you happen to take a look at my lawn while you were here?
I sure did. That was quite impressive. The kids must enjoy playing in that extra large space.
Of course they do. That's why I got this place. I want them to run around and tire themselves out as much as possible. Well, listen here. The grass is starting to get a little bit too long for my liking. How about you come over here and snip it for me?
You want me to mow your lawn?
Bingo!
That seems really unfair. You want me to actually do labor for me to gain your respect? What are you gonna do for me, Frank?
Absolutely nothing. I don't need to prove anything to you.
Are you kidding me right now? Where is this attitude coming from? You think just because you work in real estate that you're suddenly above me?
Hey, look, the house speaks for itself, doesn't it? Look at the place that we live in. We are living big. Honestly, Simon, compared to us, you're just an ant that I could squash. You really need to learn your place. I mean, you couldn't even imagine yourself having a place like this. But think about it. A man as powerful and influential as I am is giving you a chance to gain my respect. That's worth a lot. You know, it's probably worth even more than the materialistic things that you own. Think of this as a nice opportunity for yourself.
What a load of crap. I've never heard of such a stupid deal in my whole life.
Well, if that's the case, why don't you think about my sister? Do you think she likes the fact that we're having this conversation? Someone in her position would want nothing more in the world than her family to just get along with each other. Think about it. She's got her little brother that she's taken care of her whole life, and now she's having her man have a conflict with him? Having two people that she cares about fighting isn't exactly ideal. If you want us to have a healthy relationship with each other, you're gonna have to do what I say.
Okay, I understand your logic, but at the same time, I had a good look at your lawn. It looked like the grass was freshly cut. What exactly do you want me to do?
Hey, look, that's for you to figure out and for me to be the judge of. Do something to impress me and we'll start taking it from there. We can't do this any other way.
Frank, do you want some free photos or something? I mean, when's the next birthday? I'll take photos of your wife or something. I'll do someone's marriage. I don't see the point of me coming over there and cutting the grass for you. Especially when there's nothing else to cut.
Excuses, excuses, excuses. Is this what you people do in the photography industry? You don't have a can-do attitude, do you? Let me put it simply for you, Simon. Do you want my sister to be happy in your marriage?
Of course I do.
Well, we're gonna do what it takes to create healthy relations amongst your family, if that's the case. Now, you know what? I've wasted my time talking with you enough as it is. I've got a party to get back to. I want to see you there that weekend. I am not gonna take no for an answer.
Hi, honey. I just got finished up in the office and I'm at the party right now. I have to say, it really sucks being called in on the weekend, especially for a time like this. Could you believe that trouble could start on the exact same day as the birthday party of my niece? This is an absolute nightmare. Well, at least I get to sit here and cool off for a bit. There's a couple of relatives I haven't seen in a really long time, and I've gotta say, Frank really did a good job at making this party spectacular. I mean, all of this for a little 8-year-old girl? Surely this is way too extravagant. I don't remember getting anything this exciting at her age.
Hey, Catherine, it's good to know that I wasn't the only one thinking that. You could combine all the birthdays that I've had so far together, and it wouldn't reach the magnitude of that one.
Hey, what are you talking about right now? I've had some amazing parties for you. How could you insult me that way? I put a lot of effort into those, you know.
Oh, wait, look, honey, you know that I didn't mean it that way. Come on, your parties were amazing. To be honest, all of the grandiosity and big displays of wealth are not really for me. A good party is about the little intricacies in it, the little details that you put into it. I think Frank is just blowing as much money as he can and just pretending people are having a good time.
Looks like someone's feeling a little bit bitter. Come on, Simon. You have to admit that things are pretty amazing here. I mean, did you try the ribs? I didn't even know Frank could cook that well. He's my little brother and I've known him forever. He couldn't boil an egg if it meant his life was on the line.
Yeah, Frank is so amazing, isn't he? Well, if you're having so much fun there, you can just stay there. I'm going home.
You know what? I wanted to talk to you about that. What's going on right now? I thought you were going to be here. You only sent me a text a couple of hours ago saying that you were at this party. I was expecting to be with my husband right now. Except now I'm all alone. I know this is a kid's party, but check out the type of people here. Frank has brought a lot of business associates here. Are you worried that someone is going to talk to me? One of those boys in the snazzy suits might snatch me up.
Should I be worried about something like that? Catherine, you and I are about to get married, aren't we?
Of course we are. Honey, I'm just being a little bit playful with you. Don't get so serious all the time. You're the only guy I care about.
I have to be honest right now, I'm not really in the mood for jokes. That's the reason why I left that party.
All right, come on, Simon. What's going on? Talk to me. I'm about to be your wife soon. We've got to be open and honest with each other.
I can tell you what's on my mind, but you're not gonna like what you're gonna hear. It's fine, just let me keep silent. I'll sort myself out.
Well, I'm not going to do that because obviously something happened at this party. What's going on? Did you guys have a fight?
Yeah, something like that. Your brother and I are two very different people. We're not the type of people to see eye to eye.
Oh no. I guess things blew up between you two, huh?
It sounds like you knew something like this would happen.
A little part of me did. I know you very well, and I know my brother very well. Putting you two together is like putting Mentos in a bottle of Coke. You don't want anyone to be around when something like that happens.
Yeah, well, thankfully, whatever differences we had were sorted out through WhatsApp. If we actually started something at the party, things would have been a different story. We would have been walking into a massacre.
Are you kidding me right now? Is that how much you two argued? Just what sparked this in the first place?
Well, look, I've got a message from my client saying that he's gonna pay extra if I can give him the photos tonight. We did a photo shoot for his Tinder profile, and I guess he can't wait a couple of weeks for me to get it done. He wants to put himself out there straight away. I don't really have an issue with it, to be honest. I kind of wanted to go home. Frank's party wasn't really that enjoyable for me. I'll be honest, the food was quite delicious, but the type of people he has in his company are really repulsive.
Oh boy, you're telling me. I've had to put up with those guys for a long time. They're a bunch of meatheads just like my brother.
You know when people are so horrid that it actually makes your stomach churn? I mean, those guys were bragging about the businesses they have and how much they were ripping off their customers. They found out little ways that they could scam them. I honestly couldn't sit there any longer. Not to mention his kids. I know he's their father and he's gonna love them to bits, but they're a bunch of monkeys. For some reason, they thought it was funny to come over to me and splash water in my face. They had those little water pistol guns, and they just couldn't keep the fun and excitement to themselves.
Oh, wow. I can see that annoying you. Don't take it too seriously, though. They're kids at the end of the day. I'm pretty sure you did something like that as well when you were young, Simon.
I don't know. You know what type of father I have, right? He really did a good job of teaching me not to step on other people's shoes. Anyway, I wasn't having a good time there. I was kind of hoping you would come so I could actually have someone to talk to. That was when I got the message that I could start work tonight, and it was a good excuse to leave. I was gonna say goodbye to your brother, but people were telling me that he was in the toilet. I told them to give him my thanks for the party and that I was leaving. Apparently, he saw me walking out the door and he didn't really like that.
Okay. So what happened after that? Did he chase after you or something?
No, we started talking on WhatsApp and that's when the argument started.
Yeah, I can't imagine that going well. My brother is a really prickly guy. He's got a very high opinion of himself.
You don't need to tell me that. I've experienced it firsthand.
Okay, well, you know what he's like, don't you? I'm pretty sure he took some offense to you leaving the party that early. Especially the fact that you didn't say goodbye to him directly.
Well, I gotta be honest. I did try to go to his toilet and say goodbye, but I couldn't get anywhere near it. The stench that was coming from there was overwhelming. I know he was talking up those ribs today, but I didn't think it was good for his stomach.
No, that's got nothing to do with the ribs. He's always been like that. I know exactly what that smell is. He really has to get that checked out by a doctor at some point. So anyway, what did you guys argue about?
Well, basically, he just wanted to flaunt his success and tell me that I'm not doing a good enough job of making you happy.
What is that supposed to mean?
Well, he thinks I should be giving you a nice big house like his one, or a chateau as he likes to call it.
Oh my god, my brother! He's such a pretentious douchebag! I swear he never grows up. He's still a 15-year-old boy. The only difference now is he's got a lot of figures in his bank account that just exaggerates his personality even more. Anyway, I don't want you to care about anything he says. Him having a massive house and whatever is irrelevant to the type of life I want to have with you. Don't worry about it.
Are you sure you're going to be okay with that? Your brother and I aren't getting along. He's your family at the end of the day. Aren't you a little bit upset about this?
Don't worry. I'll go and have a talk to him. I'll tell him straight. Thank you for telling me this.
No, Catherine, you can't do that.
Why not?
I don't think it's gonna work. He seems to be mocking you. He doesn't think you can do anything. And if you think about it, it's a little bit weird, isn't it?
In what way?
Well, you guys aren't kids anymore. You're adults now. We should handle this as if it's an adult problem.
Okay. Well, how exactly do you want to handle this?
Well, the thing is, he brought up a deal with me that he would start to respect me if I went to his house and did some chores for him.
What are you, his slave or something? That's not exactly fixing the issue, is it? What's going through your head, Simon? You didn't actually agree, did you?
Well, at the moment, it's up in smoke. I haven't given him a clear answer, but if it means peace between us, I don't see the issue with it. At the end of the day, I'm just going to go based on your wishes. If you really want me to go over there and submit myself to his will, I'll do what he says. It all depends on how much you value the relationship between me and your brother.
This is just ridiculous. My brother is just on a power trip, you know that, right? He's a bully. He just wants to show he's better than other people. And now that you're going over there to be a slave, it's going to be that much more obvious. You You may as well get on all fours to be a footrest for him. Just what exactly are you going to do anyway? Wash his dishes for him or something?
Nothing like that, but he does want me to mow his lawn.
Are you kidding me right now? Do you see the size of that thing? He didn't actually ask you that, did he?
He sure did.
Simon, you complete buffoon! I can't believe you accepted that!
Hey, didn't you listen to me before? I told you that I left it up in smoke. I'm not actually gonna do it.
I can't believe he would actually ask you to do that. How degrading is that? It's not like you're some 15-year-old boy that needs a couple more dollars to buy more lunch at school. I'm going to give him a piece of my mind. I don't care if we're out of the party. He needs to hear this. No one insults my husband like this.
You really are a piece of work, aren't you? I mean, yesterday I was only joking about you telling my sister on me, but you actually went off and you told her, didn't you? If you had an issue with me, Simon, how come you didn't come back here and tell me yourself? Is that the type of guy you're gonna be from this point on? Anytime push comes to shove, you're just gonna palm it off onto my sister, are you? This just further proves why you're not suitable to marry her. I can't believe such a squid is gonna be in my family soon.
Frank, I didn't order her to do anything. She acted out of her own will. Look, I tried to stop her, but whatever she did, she did. So, what happened between you guys?
Well, what was originally meant to be the most awesome, amazing birthday party ever turned into an absolute mess. I had to tell everyone to go home after that. I've got to tell you, seeing as you're getting married to my sister, you have to be prepared for that little temper of hers. I mean, one little flick of the switch and she flares out.
What do you mean? What exactly happened?
Well, we had a nice, cool DJ stereo kit here, and there were guys playing the music. They were doing an amazing job. These are a couple of my buddies from high school. They managed to hit it big. Their stuff rocks. I shouldn't be too surprised, though. Anyone that is graced with the privilege of being in my presence usually turns into something.
You know what? The next time I see your parents, I need to have a long discussion with them. It's really amazing how you've become this arrogant, even as an adult. I want to know how they raised you as a child.
You really want to know? You don't even need to speak to them. I'll tell you myself. They raised me to be a champion.
They raised you to be detestable.
It seems the type of people that say that tend to be the losers. It's fine, I get it, Simon. I opened your eyes today. You realized how pathetic you are. You saw how amazing my house is and how glorious life could be. You knew you would never achieve something like that with your own photography. You must be seething with frustration. Every time you think of your brother-in-law, you have clenched fists.
Frank, I have had enough of your boasting. You've already given me enough of it today. What happened between you and my wife? I need to know. She hasn't talked to me all night.
Hey, buddy, stop acting like you crossed over the finish line. You guys aren't married yet.
Frank, tell me.
Fine, look, she's an absolute psycho. She hasn't changed ever since she was a kid. I was over with my buddies at the DJ set doing some stuff with them, and she asked me what I demanded you to do this weekend. I told her that we had an arrangement for you to mow the lawn. The moment she heard that, she took one of the speakers and pushed it over, smashing it into the TV. Are you sure you want to marry someone like this? That was absolutely insane. She broke my stuff, man. I thought people get wiser as they grow older. She's turned into more of an ape.
I can't believe it. Look, I'll have a word with her tonight. She went way too far doing that.
Hey, look, don't worry about it. I'm not like you, Simon. This isn't even gonna put a dent into our financials. We're fine.
I'm more worried about you.
I don't think you can handle a woman like that. She's gonna eat you up. A guy with no balls isn't gonna cope with the cannons my sister has down there. You better get out of this marriage as soon as you can.
Yeah, well, Frank, you can just suck it up. This is the person that I've chosen to be with, and I don't care if she's done that today. I'm really sorry that she did something like that. Regardless of whether or not you want me to pay for it, I'm gonna give you some money. I can't give you anything at the moment because I don't have many jobs. It's not a good season for photography. But give it a couple of months and I will be able to pay you back.
You know what? Don't even bother. You really are a spineless little creature, aren't you? Even after hearing this about her, you still want to marry her? You've got to toughen up. You don't know what our families are like. We're warriors. We don't take crap from anyone. We eat up little mice photographers like you for breakfast.
Well, clearly that's not the case because she decided to marry me. I don't care what you think about it, Frank. We're gonna be family soon, and you are gonna have to accept that.
Yeah, well, we might be family, but that doesn't mean that I have to go to your wedding. Don't expect me to be there.
Are you kidding me right now? Frank, this is your sister we're talking about. It is a special day for her. You have to be there. You're her brother.
I don't have to do jack. I don't want to support what is going on. I am definitely not going to be there enjoying myself. I am not going to put on a fake smile for everyone. If you wanted me at that wedding, too bad.
Well, you know what, Frank? If that's the way that it's going to be, then I can't argue with you. I guess we'll have to have this wedding without you.
Are you serious? Are you going to back off that easily?
I know when a person is set in their ways. I'm not going to sit here and try and change your mind. I'll try and talk to Catherine about it. Let her down easily.
You just continue to prove my point. You have got no spine at all. Good luck. Try and have a decent wedding in that crappy little venue you have. You know what I'm going to do that day, huh? I'm going to get my family and take them out on the yacht. We're going to have a little bit of a boat party. Have that in the back of your mind as you sign your little life away to my sister. Simon, get your butt out here already. This is an emergency. You need to get me into this wedding.
Is that you, Frank? You were the last person I was expecting to get a message from today. What do you want? I thought you were on your yacht celebrating my misery. I'm trying to get ready for things here. We're about to have the ceremony soon.
I know you are. You think I haven't seen the itinerary for today? Look, I don't have time to explain, but I need you to get me to that wedding. Something big has just happened.
Well, this is an interesting change of heart. Did you take the time to think about what's going to happen from this point on and accept the fact that I'm going to be part of this family? I have to say, it took you a long time, Frank.
Of course I haven't. I still feel the same way about you that I always have. But here's the thing. I've got a big problem, and you've got to let me into that wedding. My job is on the line here.
What do you mean your job is on the line?
Well, look, you're going to be really surprised to hear this, but you and I actually have a connection. You heard me talk about being a real estate agent that whole time. Didn't you think to tell me what your father was into?
All right, so I'm guessing Catherine must have told you about my father then. Yeah, he's working in real estate as well. He has his own branch. He's been in that industry ever since I was a kid.
Yeah, well, that branch that he's owning is the place where I'm working. That guy's my boss, man.
Are you serious right now? My dad is the one that's employing you? Well, this is some poetic justice, isn't it?
Yeah, look, this isn't the time to be making jokes at me. We have to act, and we have to act fast. Here's the thing about your dad. I'm pretty sure you know it yourself, but he's an absolute tight ass. I have got no idea how you grew up underneath that guy. He's super strict to everyone at work. He's got us all on a leash.
My dad has often talked about the people that he employs. He's very strict with them and he expects the best results. But for the people in his family, he treats us with a gentle hand. I mean, he's even let me do the job that I'm currently doing now. It's got nothing to do with real estate.
You know what? That doesn't make any sense to me, to be honest. If you had a dad that's doing something that amazing, just why in the hell did you become a photographer?
Well, that was my passion. That's what I wanted to do with my life.
But don't you think it would have been smarter to become a real estate agent? Your dad could have taught you everything. I mean, I've been working in this thing for about 8 years now, and I still don't know everything that I could. You could have got a whole life of education in this industry.
That's not to try say that my dad didn't try. He had me at the books and he was teaching me all about houses and how the market is working. It just didn't really click with me. My dad wasn't too pushy about it though. He wasn't super insistent on me becoming a real estate agent if I didn't want to be one. We had a long discussion about what my dream was and what I wanted to do. I told him that I loved photos. I loved seeing magazines and the people in them. I thought one day I could take the same type of photos. My name could be in that magazine too. From that point on, he decided to support my dream.
Why would he do something like that? This is what I mean, he sounds like a horrible father. If he really cared about your future and putting you on the right path, he would have made you one hell of a real estate agent.
That is not his dream though. To be honest, my dad doesn't even really care about being in the real estate industry. He only saw that as a means to fund my dream.
What do you mean by that?
Well, his dream was to have a child and for them to fulfill their dream. He realized there wasn't a good chance of him going anywhere. He was too old to pursue something he wanted to do. It was better to invest in his child's dream. So he decided to choose an occupation that had a high income. He got into housing and he's been doing it ever since.
This is all too much to take in. I can't believe that you were the son of a guy like that. I mean, I gotta be honest. He's pretty much got to stick up his behind 24/7. That being said, he is an admirable guy. He's kind of what I aim to be. He's successful and confident. He doesn't let anyone mess around with him. I just can't imagine a guy like you being bred from him. It's like seeing a bear give birth and a fish comes out instead. It is absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, well, you don't have to believe it, but it's the truth. How did you find out anyway?
Well, that's what I need to talk to you about. This week he was telling me how he's gonna go to his son's wedding. He was saying that he really is proud of his son, but he was having some issues with the brother of the bride.
Well, we all know who that is.
I sympathized with him and said that people don't know common sense these days. You can't disrespect the guy that's gonna marry your sister. I asked him for the name of the bride and he said my sister's last name. A little light bulb flipped in his head because he realized it was me. He looked at me with these stone-cold eyes and connected the dots very easily. He told me to get out of his office and not to come back there for a whole week. Oh, he is so mad at me. I've never seen him like this before.
What an interesting set of circumstances. To think that you actually worked for my dad. That can't work out very well for you.
Yeah, well, look, that's putting it very lightly. Who knows what's gonna happen from this point on? I'm probably gonna lose my job over something like this. You gotta let me in there. You gotta let me apologize to him.
And why do you think coming in here is gonna do you any good? You're probably gonna start fighting with everyone. You're the last face he wants to see on a day like this.
Well, I mean, come on. You can be a good sport, can't you, Simon? I know we've had our differences and whatnot, but put it aside for our family. Don't you realize what's at risk here? Think about it. This job is all I have. I'm gonna lose everything. The house, the car, everything I've built up, even the security that I provided my family with. All of it is gone in an instant. All because you're gonna be selfish. You're not going to be cruel to me, are you? All we've gotta do is act, chummy. He's gotta see us getting along with each other at the moment. If he sees that, he'll know that I've given him the proper respect that he deserves.
I am not doing that, Frank. We had a deal that you wouldn't be coming today, and here you are. I really don't want to be disturbed. I kind of like knowing that you weren't coming here. I've always found you to be repulsive. There's nothing that we have in common. We never get along. I don't care what happens to you from this point on. Whatever my dad decides to do is up to him. I am indifferent to it. Anyway, I have a wedding to get back to. Don't bother me again.
Come on, Simon, are you serious right now? Aren't you the one telling me that we should start getting along? Well, this is our chance, isn't it? Hey, how about this? I'll forget about the lawn thing. You don't have to come over and mow for me. I'll give you the respect you need. You just gotta put in a good word with your dad for me. Come on, please. I don't want to lose my job. Look at you being all smug and whatnot. I saw those photos you had from the wedding. I hope you're happy.
Well, thanks, Frank. That's very kind coming from you. We had an amazing day. I'm sorry that you weren't able to attend. Did you see your sister?
Yeah, I saw her. I saw that stupid big face of hers. So, you two finally got married. You guys look so proud of yourselves.
Well, we are, to be honest. She and I have gone through a lot. We've been in a very long relationship and it's finally come to some fruition. Who would have thought that we would get married?
Well, isn't that perfect? Everything works out for Simon and my sister. You guys get to live happily ever after. And what about me? Did anyone care to think what would happen to me? No one did they? I mean, I didn't just have my stuff trashed at my house. I didn't just lose my job or anything. Did you guys care about anyone else apart from yourselves?
What did you say right now, Frank?
Yeah, you heard me. Your anal dad actually fired me. Can you believe that? I didn't even do anything wrong with work. There's no real reason to fire me.
Actually, I might be able to give you a bit of insight on that one, Frank.
Wait, what's that supposed to mean? You actually know what happened?
I do. I am still really close with my dad. I like to keep him updated on my career and what is going on. He also likes to tell me about his real estate business. I've actually known about his workers, even if I didn't know the name. There was always this one guy that he would bring up. This person, in particular, was one of his best. He brought in the most clients and he sold the most houses. He had an amazing way of keeping a rapport with people, and he was able to sell them quite easily. Although, there's only one little caveat to this.
What would that be?
This guy was a fraud. He would oversell the houses, and in most circumstances, there was a lot of problems with them. Some of them still had termites. Some of the houses were located in neighborhoods where the neighbors were hard to deal with. They would stay up all night partying or shouting, screaming at each other. This particular worker would have a way of selling the house like it was the best place you could live in. It was their dream home. He was able to get everyone hooked on it.
Well, I kind of like the cut of this person's jib. Sounds like my type of guy.
He also said that this person was incredibly arrogant. He thought he was the best person in that workplace. Whenever there was someone new on the team, he would bully them out, make them feel incompetent and worthless. While this person was really good at selling houses, he wasn't good at creating a healthy workplace for people. He was the type of person that my dad couldn't keep for a long time. Can you take a guess who that person might be?
Are you kidding me right now? You're actually trying to say that it was me, aren't you? I don't get what his problem is. Our job is to sell houses, right? That's what I've done.
He wants to do these things perfectly. Lying to people is not the way to do it. It doesn't matter how much money you rake in.
I don't believe what I'm hearing right now. Well, fine, I've lost my job and I've got to find a different solution. You've got to help me out. You've got to help me find a job somewhere.
What do you mean, me? I'm just some stupid photographer, right?
I know, but maybe you could give me a job just in the meantime, you know? I've got rent and mortgages to pay. Come on, just get me something to do. I can be your assistant or something.
That is not gonna happen. I don't need an assistant. I've already got plenty of them.
Well, that's a very interesting joke. I can't imagine you having any assistants. You're actually telling me that someone is there to hold the camera for you as you press the button? You really are incapable, aren't you? Look, you've got to think about this one logically, Simon. Okay, fair enough. You're a photographer, but maybe my savvy knowledge might be able to help you. I've got good people skills, you know? I'm sure that's an invaluable skill in photography. You might be skilled in your craft, but you need to know how to talk to people if you really want to get up there in the big leagues. Come on, buddy. I'm a very valuable asset. All you have to do is just let me have a chance.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pass on that one. Look, I know what is going on right now. You don't actually want to get a job doing photography. You just want your old job back. My dad runs a very successful firm, and there are many good perks. You figured that if you help me out a little bit, I might begin to like you a bit more. Consequently, we'll be able to put in a good word with my dad. Tell him that you're worthy of getting your job back.
Come on, that's not true. Don't think so badly about me. I'm just family. I'm family, and I'm in a pinch at the moment. I'm relying on the people that I can.
Even if I wanted to help you, I'm not living in this country anymore.
Wait, what did you say? What is that supposed to mean?
Well, you were talking about getting into the big magazines and whatnot. And let me tell you something, my hard work has finally paid off.
What did you say?
Look, I was being quite humble about it, but the thing is, I've already been working with some major brands recently. You wouldn't have heard of Burberry by any chance, have you?
No way! You're not actually doing photography for them, are you?
Oh, so you're doubting me?
Of course I am. My wife is looking at their clothes all the time. You're actually taking photos for them? That is amazing.
I sure am, but here's the thing. I'm not doing it here in America. They want me to go out to Europe. They're going to pay for everything. Accommodation, places to stay, food for the month.
Well, this is amazing. It's like a little quick holiday for you, isn't it? How long are you going to be out there?
Well, from the looks of things, indefinitely. They're saying that America just doesn't offer the type of scene that fits their look. They want photos with a little bit more personality and edge. With someone of my caliber, it's not a bad idea to have me. They want to make use of me as much as possible.
No way, you have got to be kidding me right now. You're actually leaving the country?
I sure am, and this is a top dollar project. They're paying me very handsomely for this.
Are you serious right now? How much?
Well, let's just say, give it a couple more years and I can probably buy that house off you if I really wanted to.
Are you kidding me? For a job doing photography? This doesn't make any sense at all. You guys shouldn't earn that much money. Just how hard is it to do that?
Well, I'm not really sure, to be honest, Frank. It comes very naturally to me. I'd say it's as hard as it is for you to lie to people about homes you get them to buy. So that being said, probably very easy.
Well, very funny. Simon, you gotta help me out if that's the case.
What do you mean? Me help you out?
Well, it's clear that you're earning a lot of money at the moment. Everything I bought here hasn't been paid for yet. They're all on loan. The car, the house, everything. I'm planning for the future. I didn't expect to lose my job at a time like this. If things keep going this way, I'm gonna be bankrupt.
Well, this is pretty interesting, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah, well, I mean, think about it. You're the one that was trying to put me down for being the poor guy. The guy that doesn't earn money. The guy that can't protect and provide for his family. It seems like you haven't been doing that either.
Come on, who could have seen this happening? I didn't know that I was working for your dad.
It doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is that you looked at me and you made a judgment. You thought that just because I looked a little bit quirky and I wore glasses, that I wasn't doing anything with my life. I was some fake artist or something. Well, the truth is, I put a lot of love and dedication into my photography. It takes time to get good at this skill. It takes time to find a way of taking photos that people enjoy. I had a dream to become successful, to become the best at it. And I'm slowly edging my way there. Now look at me. I'm gonna be putting Catherine out of work soon. She doesn't have to do anything. Her new lifestyle is gonna consist of relaxing in Europe and going to places where she's never been before. That's gonna be much better than your family being left out for the street.
You know what's gonna happen to us if we don't pay rent, don't you? Come on, Simon, you're married, you're family. Now you're meant to help family. This is my time of need. Trust me, if you're in my position, I'd do anything to help you.
What a load of crap. We know that's not true, Frank. You're just a selfish guy with a massive ego. The only reason that you're being nice to me now is because the tables have turned. You should have been nice to me regardless of whether or not my dad was employing you. It's just common courtesy to be nice to people. Instead, you wanted to act superior to me.
Come on, buddy, don't do that. We can work out a deal. I'm sure we can. What do you want? How about this? You help me get back into real estate, and I'll get your house. You want to go to Europe, right? I'll make it so that you can go there 10 times a year.
No, I can't do that. Goodbye, Frank. This is the last time I will be speaking to you.
Oh, wait a minute, Simon, don't go just yet. I'm sorry, photography is cool. You have got an amazing profession. I really respect it now. Simon, you're not actually leaving me, are you? Simon? Simon!
Frank did his best to contact me after that, but to no avail. He tried to get through to Catherine, but I explained to her what happened. She had a lifetime of listening to her brother's arrogant nature. She's finally had enough of it. She figured that with us going to Europe, it was a good time to cut ties with him. She understood his situation and what was going to happen to him, but she knew what he had done to get there. The fact that he lied to common people so that he could get ahead disgusted her. She didn't want anything to do with a guy like that. Over time, things didn't work out for him. His friends knew about his situation and the fact that he was unemployed. They also knew that everything he paid for was on loan. He didn't actually pay for it in full. He was on a slow sink to the bottom. His wife realized it too. She wasn't the best of characters and was only in it because he was powerful and had money. Now she knew he was going to be another slob like everyone else. The moment she realized that, she up and left one morning and never returned. She's quite an exotic woman from South America, and there are rumors that she's gone back there. The chances that Frank is ever going to see his children again are quite slim. Frank's biggest downfall was his family. His whole life, he thought he could be a step above everyone else and use them. It was about time that he had a taste of his own treatment. Even if Frank managed to keep his job, things would have come back to bite him eventually. His reputation grew around town as the guy who lied about the places he sold. No one was ever going to give him a decent job. Not one restaurant and not one retail facility wanted him. And of course, the real estate industry wouldn't even accept his resume. The moment they saw his name, it went straight to the bin. The job he ended up getting was working as a janitor. His daily schedule consists of mopping up floors and cleaning toilets. Knowing that he's a janitor, people found out the exact places he was working. When they know his schedule, they go into the toilet in advance and leave him a special surprise in there. Sometimes there's even graffiti threatening him to never come back there again. He's not taking it too well, but hopefully in time, there's going to be some sort of therapy session for him. He might gain some sort of proper understanding of where he sits in society and that he should treat people a lot better. On the bright side of things, I'm starting to open my own brand here in Europe. I've had many clients for my photos and people really like my work. Catherine quit her job in America and she's been helping me a lot with my photography. She decided to create her own brand and we've been promoting it together. We've been having a great time here in Europe, but we plan to expand somewhere else. It's only a matter of time before my face is on a magazine and a guy like Frank will be reading it one day. I hope he remembers the days when he said I was never going to amount to anything and that I was just a stupid photographer.
Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Hey, how did the date go last night? She's so pretty. And she seemed to be really nice. I really liked her. As soon as I met her, I knew I'd have to introduce you guys to each other. She's totally your type. You really know me so well, Wes. Thank you again for setting us up. I want to hear all about it. I was so excited to come to work today to ask you about how it went. I feel like I had to sneak up here to get to your office. The vibes were great, to say the least. We already planned our second date. I asked her if she would want to go out again, and she said yes. We're going out again this Saturday night. Isn't that great? No way! You guys are already set up for another date? That's awesome!
I'm so happy for you guys. I knew she would like you. You're a great guy.
Thank you. That's so nice of you to say.
So, what did you like about her?
Not only is she beautiful, but she is super funny and seems to be really kind. Plus, she has a great sense of style. I was shocked by her fashion choices. It's not necessarily the kind of stuff I would normally go for, but she looked very nice. I'm just not that into luxury clothing, you know?
Yeah, I get you. I'm not really into that kind of stuff either. Regardless, I'm happy for you, Ash. Finally, my friend is going to get into a relationship with a good girl. Don't forget to buy her some nice food. You need to be a real gentleman.
What's up? Why are you calling me during work? Are you too lazy to come up here and see me?
Dude, I thought you said the date went well.
It did go well, like I told you earlier. We even planned another date this weekend. I told you all about this. Why would you think it went poorly now?
Then why is she reacting like this? I just spoke to her on the phone and she asked why I introduced her to a jerk like you.
What are you talking about? I paid for the meal and the taxi ride home. I rode with her all the way so she would feel safe and walked her to the door to her apartments. She seemed really happy and excited during the date.
Are you sure you didn't say anything that might have offended her or something?
Not that I can think of. Why would she agree to go on another date with me this weekend if I really made such a huge mistake?
I'm just asking because why else would she be freaking out at me? She just sent me a ton of messages. I don't understand what's going on.
I'm just as confused as you are. Maybe I should give her a call later and see what's going on.
Maybe wait until tomorrow or something. I think she's pretty upset.
Hi, Laurel. It's me, Asher. The guy you went on a date with on Wednesday night.
Huh? Why are you messaging me?
I heard from Wesley that you were pretty upset after our date on Wednesday. I'm just reaching out to ask you about it.
Of course I was upset. I was pissed he introduced me to someone like you. What a waste of my evening.
I'm sorry if I misunderstood, but I thought the date was going well. We were getting along and laughing a lot. I really thought we were having a good time. Was that really all one-sided?
You really thought it was going that well? I was just trying to be nice and get home safe, obviously. I don't know you. You could be a freak stalker or a murderer or something.
Oh, I'm sorry if I made you feel that nervous or unsafe. I just can't understand what I did that caused you to feel that way. Did I do something wrong? Was there anything I did that was offensive?
I am extremely busy today, and you're really asking me to explain everything like this? This is extremely annoying. A waste of my time. Don't contact me again.
I really wanted to figure this out, but I understand you might be busy. When you feel better, please reach out and let me know what I did wrong. I want to make sure I don't make the same mistake again. If I did or said something that made you feel unsafe or nervous, please tell me. I never want to make anyone else feel like that. Hello again, Laurel. Do you have time to speak today? Would it be okay if we chat about this again?
Excuse me, Asher. I thought I made it clear that I didn't want you to contact me again. Do you think I'm just sitting around all day doing nothing? That I'm just free to talk whenever you want? I'm busy. I have to work. I don't have time for this nonsense. Not like you would understand, though.
Excuse me? What are you getting at?
Look, Asher, even if you don't have any money, you ought to have a good personality. I thought that everyone knew that. It's apparent that you have neither.
What? Laurel, I don't understand what you're saying. Are you telling me I'm poor and have a bad personality?
That is exactly what I just said. I don't want to waste my time with a guy like you. I have no plans on going on another date with you because it's not going to go anywhere. I don't want to be objectified by someone like you either. It's clear to me that you're the kind of guy that objectifies women.
Why would you think I'm the type of person to objectify women? Did I say something to give you that impression? If that's the case, I'm so sorry. I have never meant to be misogynistic or anything like that. I've tried really hard to be a good guy, but if I said something that hurt you, please let me know.
Listen here. You said you're turning 33 this year, didn't you? You don't even have your own car. You said you still live in a studio apartment. That's so childish. You need to grow up and start acting like a real adult.
We live in New York City. Everyone has a studio apartment because it's extremely expensive to live here. Plus, there's nowhere for me to park a car. If I had one, it would be a waste of money. Do you know how much it would cost to park it in the city? Not to mention the rising prices of insurance and gas. Why would I waste my money on that? It's more convenient for me to walk or take public transportation.
You're hilarious. Real men have their own vehicles and can afford the cost to maintain and upkeep them.
Okay. What's that?
This is one of my past boyfriend's car. It was a Porsche. If you're really about to turn 33, you ought to consider acting like a real man. That's all I'm trying to say. Excuse me? Why aren't you answering me? You owe me a response.
I was working, so I was rather busy.
You were busy working? You don't earn more than $2,000 a month with that job. Are you really so dedicated to your low-paying job that you can't answer me?
Are you saying the reason I'm a loser is that I don't make enough money? My salary isn't good enough for your standards?
Yes, I'm correct. Sounds like you finally figured out what the issue is.
Honestly, I'm glad you revealed your real feelings. Is there no other reason you think I'm a loser? It's just because I'm poor by your standards.
It was that and the clothes you wore on our first date. I mean, you look like a homeless person, for crying out loud. You could have put in a little more effort. Where did you get that stuff? A thrift shop?
Yeah, I did actually. Because there are plenty of good clothes out there that will just end up in the landfill.
Ah, whatever. You'll never know what it's like to wear something with a crisp, high-end logo.
Why are logos so important? Who cares about that kind of stuff?
Most people do. You should wear high-end brands proudly and show it off.
I think that's stupid. You're a superficial, greedy prick. That's what I thought about you at first, but I changed my mind. I guess my first impression was correct.
What? How could you say that?
Well, I'd love to keep talking like this with you, but I'm really busy right now. I hope you meet a nice rich guy who has a fancy car and wears high-end clothes.
Wow. Is that real? She really said all of that?
I never thought I'd get set up with a girl like that.
I'm so sorry, dude. I can't believe she really said all of that. So, this is really the end of your connection, right? I mean, you're not going to keep speaking to her, are you?
Yeah, this is the end. It's over. What else would we speak about? I could go the rest of my life without seeing her, and I would be very happy.
I'm so sorry for setting you up with her. If I had known how crazy she was, I wouldn't have done it. I promise I'll try to make it up to you by buying you a meal.
You're serious? Because if so, I want steak. You promise you're going to buy me food?
I promise. I put you through so much trouble, I ought to make it up to you.
Thank God.
Send me the address.
Okay, here it is.
Yo, that place is insanely expensive. Are you serious? You know I can't take you here.
You said you'd buy me anything. Besides, this is where I was going to take Laurel this weekend. I already booked a reservation and everything. I would hate for it to go to waste.
Dude, that place was amazing. Thank you so much for inviting me. This was really nice.
Maybe I should take you out on dates more often.
Maybe I wouldn't mind. Not if I get to go to fancy restaurants like that every weekend. That was incredible.
Hold on a minute. You're the one who said you'd pay for the meal, but you conveniently forgot your wallet at home. I'm starting to think this was a setup.
Ah, you got me. I'm a good-for-nothing gold digger. Thanks for paying, though. I'll send you half on Venmo. I promise next time I will really pay for your dinner. Oh, and if I find an actually nice person to set you up with, I will.
Oh, get lost. I don't want to go out with any other girls you pick for me. Not after the last one.
Thanks again, dude. Have a good rest of your weekend.
Hello again. Could you spare me some time? I'd like to speak with you.
Oh, what a pity. I am so busy right now. I think it would be best if you didn't contact me anymore.
What? Hey! Don't be so rude!
Yo, what do you think you're doing? Why are you blowing up my phone? You've called like 10 times in the last 15 minutes.
If someone calls you, you should answer. Why won't you answer? You're the one being rude here.
I already told you that I am swamped with work. I don't have time for this.
It's literally Sunday evening. What work are you swamped with? Well, the least you could do is answer one question.
I recall that earlier this week I reached out to ask you a question and you refused to answer it. You should answer my question first and then I'll consider answering yours.
No, answer mine. I technically answered yours. You just didn't like my answers.
Fine. I will answer 3 questions and 3 questions only.
Did you go to that fancy steak restaurant yesterday? The one on Commerce Street?
Yes.
Are you serious? Okay, my second question. You took someone to the restaurant with you, didn't you?
Yeah.
You didn't force them to pay for you. You really bought them their meal?
Yeah, I paid. I'm the one who invited him.
How could you afford a meal like that on your salary? You can't have enough extra cash to go to that kind of place regularly. How did you take him there?
This is really the question you want to ask? You're already on your 3rd question.
Stop messing around! I'm being serious. Answer my question.
Wow. Seems like you have some anger management issues, Laurel. I already answered all of your questions. But if it's really important for you to know, I don't earn a small salary. I don't know where you heard $2,000 from, but that is not how much I make a month.
What are you talking about?
I don't think I would be able to afford to live in this part of New York on that salary.
No way. How much do you make then?
Well, I work in sales. So I have a base pay salary and I get commissions and bonuses each month depending on how much I sell.
So how much do you make?
Enough to live in a high-end fancy studio apartment in a non-crappy part of town.
Why didn't you say that sooner?
That attitude of yours is really repulsive. You're so rude and can't seem to be polite for the life of you. I get that you're curious about me and you have a lot of questions, but I don't want to continue speaking like this. Especially not over text. It's getting annoying. I'm glad you outed yourself as being superficial and fake early on. Don't want to waste my time with someone like you.
What did you just say? Are you done? Did that make you feel good? You're such a freak, Asher! How could you say something like that to me? Are you seriously not going to respond to my messages? Rude! You little jerk! Look, I'm sorry, Asher. I am sorry for how rude I was. I shouldn't have gotten so angry and spoken to you like that. I sincerely apologize. I just want to speak to you civilly. Please just look at my messages.
Have you taken some time to reflect on your actions and the things you said? First of all, how did you know I went to that restaurant? I think I might have seen you. Were you working the cash register?
I see you're a bit surprised. I saw you go outside and get into a nice car with your friend after you paid. Earlier, you told me that you didn't own a car. Why were you lying to me?
I do have a car. A nice one. It's expensive to maintain and to pay for private parking. I don't usually tell people about my wealth on a first date. I don't usually drive my car in the city. I use it a lot to travel out of the city, though. Often to meet my family or visit other states. Oh, and what you said about me looking like a homeless person. That was horrible to say. Incredibly rude to perpetuate stereotypes about people without homes and to stigmatize it. I did wear thrifted clothing, but I also have fancy high-end stuff too. I believe in balance.
Oh my god. You're like super rich. How much money do you make at this job?
My job isn't really that important. I started and sold a business in my early 20s for a large sum. I also invested in some stocks and have earned a lot of money that way. Have I satisfied all of your curiosities?
Asher, I'm so sorry for how I acted. Recently, I got laid off from my corporate job, so I've been working at the restaurant. My friends started to look down on me, so I was looking for a guy to help make me look nice. I was looking for someone like you.
Ah, I see. You just want me to pay for everything and become your rich boyfriend.
Well, not exactly. I just want a second chance. I misunderstood you before. Would you like to meet next weekend? We could go to a nice restaurant and talk about all of this.
Ha! Wow, that's crazy. You called me a loser. Said that I was a waste of your time. You are so shameless. You really want me to give you a second chance after all you said?
Please just give me one more chance. I promise I'm a good person. I was crazy before to reject you for such superficial reasons. Please just give me another chance.
Get lost.
Please, I'm begging you, Asher. I'm a very nice person. A good person.
Go find yourself another man who will put up with your crazy attitude and hunger for money.
You jerk! You should have given me another chance. If you were a good guy, you would look past all of this and understand my situation. Answer me! You owe me a response! Asher! You think you're better than me just because you're rich and I'm not? I think you're making a big mistake right now. You don't know who I am or what I'm capable of. I must be going insane. I'm sorry, Asher, for how I've been acting. I won't contact you like this from now on. I promise. Yeah, sure. I drank a lot last night and got pretty drunk. I seem to have deleted all of my messages with you. Did something happen? Did I say something crazy?
Don't pretend like you don't know what you did. I'm over this whole act. Get lost. Laurel continued to call and message me, trying to get a response. Eventually, I blocked her number, but since she knows my friend Wesley, she showed up to my work. She barged into my office and made a big scene. She was escorted off the premises by security, and I reported her to the police. I may file a restraining order if she keeps this up. She kept asking me to give her just one more chance, but I couldn't. After that, I never went on a date with someone I didn't meet myself. I was too scared I would meet someone like her again. Recently, I met a really sweet girl who works at a nearby coffee shop. I go there almost every day, and sometimes she gives me coffee for free. I think we've been flirting, but I want to be sure before I ask her out on a date. I think I'll take her to a nearby pizza joint. She doesn't seem to care much about money. At least not yet. I'm hoping this will go somewhere, but if it doesn't, I'd be okay with just being friends.
Thank you for listening to my story. If you enjoyed it, please consider liking and subscribing.